And we are recording. I'd like to apologise because apparently you've made it to episode 2, so I'm so sorry you have nothing better to do with your life than listen to our crummy podcast. But I'm Brett, as always. You know me. I was on the previous podcast, and I reckon I'll be hosting these because I own the laptop and the microphone, so sucked in. Yeah, to the left of me,
I'm Michael. Been doing Swordcraft since before there was a Swordcraft, and general LARPing since the late 90s. I founded one of the warbands at Swordcraft, the 13th Free Company, and have a bunch of background in LARP game design.
I'm Al Taylor, current captain of the 13th Free Company. Character's name is Bowman de Bohand, also known as the Axe Mountain. I've been doing Swordcraft for about 3 years. Never really did much in the way of LARP before that. Little smatterings here and there. Did a lot of freeforms, including some for a company called Hasta Fasta, which in the mid to late 90s.
I'm Garth. I am a warband member of the Eldar, and I've only been LARPing and playing Swordcraft for about 2 years, so I'm pretty new compared to everyone else. Everyone gives me dirty looks because it's like new.
yeah,
Johnny come lately.
I'm Jess. I'm the warband leader of the Ayotlan tribe. We're quite new. Before that, I was second in charge of the Briar Wolves. I've only been going for the same time as Garth for 2 years. Before that, we played a little bit of D&D, but other than that, we really didn't do very much.
nice.
So I'm quite new to the game.
Sweet. Glad we got our token female this week.
Yeah, boy.
gotta keep the masses happy. Yeah. Yeah, special announcement. We have a all-female episode eventually happening. So I won't be there, and it'll be just girls, and I'll be talking
Awesome.
about the intense overbearing of men.
I was hoping you were
So
going to get a
get ready
sex
for that
change.
Social Justice Warrior podcast. So last night's game, bloomin' heck. There was a new Demons Warband.
Corruptors.
Yeah, the Corruptors. I think they're shit. Boom. No, that was maybe a bit harsh. I don't think they're bad, but I feel like a warband these days, you have to super impress because there's so many small warbands. You have to really be above like the bar. You need to have tabards for people that want to join. You need to have a banner. You need to have something extra, and I think that's really hard to put on. Like, normally people that start a warband are like 2 or 3 people, you know? And they're like, hey, can you make 10 tabards? Can you make a banner? Can you have an epic creature? Can you have this and that? I feel like that's pretty hard for a new warband.
Well, I mean, they did do that. They had their tabards, and they had an entrance portal that they came through.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, it was kind of like a door with a flap on it. But I think as a Chaos Warband, it could have been a lot more impressive. There could have been a lot more demons, considering they're a demon warband.
So was there anything that they did good then?
They had, the main guy had this sick mask.
Yeah.
And whenever his mouth moved, like the lips moved, that was the sickest shit I've ever seen in my life. I don't want to just like out the bat start ragging on them, but I'm ready.
No,
to
that's
see
exactly what you did, actually.
Yeah, no, that's legitimately what I'm not a good person.
Pretty sure you started with their shit.
Oh boy, a lot of backtracking.
That means if they're listening, they should direct
Yeah,
all
send
inquiries to
all-
Brett.
send
Yes.
all hate my way.
Because I do believe that all the opinions expressed in this podcast are of the individual members alone. Is
That's
that right?
true.
I hadn't heard a disclaimer yet.
That's not that disclaimer.
No.
Shit. Oh well. If you listen to number 1, you know the disclaimer by now. Yeah, so sucked in. Last night's game was good. I was really happy with the side starting
Oh, the deployment zones. They actually listened to Gerald, yeah.
Someone from the community actually said something, and then Swordcraft did it.
The next week.
The next week. My arsehole was so blown out I couldn't even handle it. Shit's just straight cray-cray.
That's Clinton and Sean, isn't it?
No.
That's
Oh,
not.
no.
Is-
Oh, maybe.
Who
No,
runs
none
that?
of
I
them
think
do that
Sean
anymore.
writes
Maybe
the
Sean.
maps.
But
I don't know.
Sean does do the maps, as far as I'm aware.
After everyone got up in arms and went on strike, I have no idea what's happening.
Swordcraft Strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the
You
deployment
say,
zones. Though.
but I feel like you don't know, Al.
Yeah.
Rumours get around.
Yeah, rumours get
get
around.
around?
I don't
Ah,
really
sweet.
pay that much attention to
Nice.
rumours because
Oh,
50% of the time they're bullshit.
yeah, that's
Straight up
true.
bullshit.
No, I
and
love it. I start the bullshit. That's why my podcast exists.
Yeah, well, you're not a nice person.
That's true.
I am.
Disclaimer.
Nice. Yeah, podcast, thinking of things to say. So, that was last night's game. Happy with deployment. It's hard to be a new warband. Do we want to just general chit-chat about stuff? You guys got anything you want to say?
Oh, last night I really enjoyed the Lions banner.
Oh, yeah.
That was sick.
They had a cool banner. They had a big fluffy lion's head on top and they had
I think I did see that.
two little dizzle-dazzles.
It was sick.
Dizzle-dazzles.
Dizzle-dazzles.
That's
the official
technical,
term.
technical term for. Yeah.
Look, they had like a T-shaped banner, but they had the pole in the middle and they had two little bits on the side.
I'm actually enjoying the Lions in the fight, mainly because they're fairly aggressive in close combat. Really don't back down, and it's nice to get in a really solid fight. Especially with Freako, because straight up in your face smashing. That's what
Bread and butter.
Yeah, what we do. When things get a little sort of hit and run, kind of.
Yeah.
You lose your stride and that sort of stuff, and I spend most of my time yelling at the guys to get back in formation and stuff like that. But with the Lions, you just get in there and it's last one standing. It's good. I love it.
And they don't seem to be afraid to take their hits and fight sort of safely instead of going for their own ego, which some of the war
They're all
bands
quite
do.
genuine players. There's a few veteran players in there.
Actually,
like
they're mostly
Liddell.
long-term players.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
good veterans.
It's oh god.
Do you know if they're recruiting though?
Before
No.
they were,
Okay.
but I only saw that as in like I was out after Swordcraft. I was out having dinner at a schnitzel house.
Yeah, I don't care.
There was
While they're recruiting.
Everyone else cares. Okay. Well, anyway, I saw a girl with like a bit of paper and it had like these are their lines, ranks, and so on and so forth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was like, "Hey, give me the paper." She was like, "No, it's not for you." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, get back to your snitchel,
Yeah,
bitch.
that's it. Well, they serve beers at the schnitzel. It's hard to get a drink that late.
Right.
So I'm a chronic alcoholic. Boom. This is actually an AA meeting. Oh boy.
I wondered where the alcohol was.
Yeah. Look,
That's straight vodka you got there.
Oh shit.
No, actually.
Just suckle on my liver.
Oh boy. Yeah, I've been told I'm not allowed to badmouth just on the podcast because I badmouthed it last time.
Oh.
So I better not say anything that'll get me in trouble. I have to do the one thing I don't want to do, and that's censor myself. But I guess when it's your partner, you gotta draw the line. Sweet. How's Iota Land going?
Ayotland.
Yeah, how's
We're doing alright. Besides being called Zatland at least 10 times a night. But no, we're doing really well. We're aiming to keep quite small for a while. So we're fielding probably between 7 and 12 people a week.
Pretty legit.
12 is probably a bit more than I'm after at the moment. We are recruiting though, but I'm just trying to really focus on kit and roleplay and get those really solid core members before we kind of really start to open up quite.
That's
quite
a
big.
good way to do it. Overextending rapidly is just.
I think. Well,
Mr. Breton over there might have a thing to say about that.
Yeah, you end up with a lot of trash.
Well, I mean, coming from the Briarwolves, where on our last night we had 60 to 70 people on the field, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I know that was as more of a support
special,
thing,
yeah.
but even before then we were fielding probably between 25 and 35 people.
Oh, regular.
Yeah, and it's a very difficult amount to field when it's not as structured as something like Freako. And we're not going for a very structured warband. We're going for, we're pretty primitive.
Nice.
So yeah, we are going quite well.
Yeah, because you guys are very bright, very colourful. All the soft kit looks great. I don't see a lot of like heavy armor clank.
Okay, well that
sword
kind of
and
comes
board.
back to we are pre-Spanish
Yeah, it's
invasion.
a theme and style.
So yeah, like Zatland post-invasion, so they have a lot more kind of
You got more
variation. They do have a lot more options. They have a lot more of the kind of European stuff, which is good for them. But we struggle with getting heavier stuff. That is, we're based off Aztec. We're not, you know.
You don't let it tie you down.
Inspirations, yeah.
Don't want to tie you down, man.
I mean, if we went and full on like reenactment level, we'd probably have our tits out and be running around in sacks. So
I'm not against it.
You will when they saw your leg off with a bit of flint, mate.
That'll only happen once, maybe twice with the other leg.
Depends how many legs you've got. So I'm just gonna go with how's generally things in the 13th Free Company. How's Quest?
That's classified.
Okay, whoops.
No, Quest. We're looking at putting on quite a big roleplay event with the Dodgy Tavern, which is the former captain's name, Porkill's House of Porking, I believe is what we're going with. But we're looking at some entertainment there, dancing girls, a lot of gambling.
I like it.
Probably a bit of looking at setting up sort of drinks being taken over from the tavern to it, because we don't like politics, and licensing and just more hassle than it's worth. Also, I've heard that there's going to be like a sort of a amphitheatre or something.
Don't look at me, I haven't heard shit from Quest.
With lighting on it for nighttime sort of fighting.
That's going to be fucking sick.
Well, it'd be really, really good for Ravenna, because I think Ravenna's idea of trying to do those games has always been a really good one. However, doing it during the day,
when there's attacks and sieges.
Yeah. It limits their ability to do it, limits it to draw a crowd, and limits us to run a book on it and make some money off it. So, everyone loses.
I also feel like if there were like big MCG sort of like lights set up at nighttime, I think it would encourage people to drink less at nighttime and do more sort of stuff. Like I enjoy
and in-character stuff.
Yeah, in-character stuff. Because you get to a point in the night where the sun goes down and then you're like, oh, I'll just have a drink, sit around the fire. I want to be more active, more going.
Yeah, I don't drink at Quest because being captain of Free Company and having a hangover. Well, Mick can tell you all about that. Hangover. Sending orders from your deathbed.
Nice.
Mitch, take the men out. Get them to the.
To quickly change the topic, one of the important things about the tavern that we'll be running is that it's going to be an in-character space within the town. So if you are in our space that we are providing to the community and to the players, then if you are out of character, causing distractions, doing all this sort of stuff, we're going to kick you out. Because we want to have that for people who want to opt in to this type of game.
Yeah.
So fair warning for anyone who's there who wants to be entertained and then just sort of piss about.
Did you guys go to Carnival last Quest?
I didn't get there.
Because it was similar to that. So anyone that kind of drew their sword, Congo would just lose his shit at them and be like, get out. And it was all like, it was more as if it was in character, cool. But if you were like fucking around just being a dick, you just, it was awesome.
It's funny that you mentioned the Carnival. I'm going to call...
Were you the dick who drew the sword?
Because I'm going with yes.
I was like... myself and Drankor have a bit of fuck-assery and we're sort of assholes, push each other around and all that sort of stuff. Liam almost legitimately killed me at the Carnival last Quest.
Oh, right.
Yeah. He picked me up, he physically picked me up and threw me out. Like, we're good friends, we wrestle, it's okay. But I smashed my wrist on like a pointy metal outside
those fences thing.
And I have a scar where I was like,
that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, like that's pretty hardcore. Like I was like bleeding from the wrist. Alright, well I may actually die.
More's the pity you did.
Live love.
Yeah, sorry guys. How cool would it have been? Like, oh, he's the knight who died.
Yeah.
Right.
We wouldn't have to go through this tawdry podcast.
I know. Sorry.
Also, one other thing, just last on that tavern is during the day we're actually going to be running it as a tea house for in-character coin. so you can come down by.
That's awesome.
Is tea legal this
No.
time?
It is where we're going to be set up. We're
Either
going to
that, or it's going to be miscellaneous herbs in water.
Ah, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
spiced water.
We can call it G instead of tea.
Get them sweet.
Gee.
Get them sweet herbs. Good. Sounds like a lot of quest shenanigans.
Yeah, we're putting a lot into it,
a lot of work.
I'm almost at the point of having a nervous breakdown.
Nice.
That and another
It's my every Friday night.
LARP that I'm currently working on, which I may or may not be able to talk about here.
Ooh, scandalous. Right, well, if you want to talk about that, I'm ready to go. No, gonna stay quiet. Okay, well, you're a terrible person now.
If it's relevant to the conversation.
If it is relevant to the conversation.
What I'm talking
I've
about.
done enough spruiking. But welcome to Al Taylor's podcast.
Yeah.
So, talking about other labs, how's After the Fall going?
I was about to say after the fall cast. Like,
Alright.
Yeah, it's going good. We've got basically all the tickets sold, so we've got 100 players ready.
What
ready
is
to go.
After the Fall?
It is a post-apocalyptic LARP game focusing on role-playing and costume and set and the continuity of play. So you don't stop play to have rules calls explained. You don't stop play when it gets dark. You don't stop play for any one of a number of reasons.
That's
When you
In
go
the
to
game,
sleep, you don't stop play.
people are already planning on having like round-the-clock patrols of
Okay.
their camps and their areas of town. So
Precincts.
Yes. But yeah, it's a good chance for members of the community who want to go down that side of the LARP hobby to really jump in with both feet and go hell for leather in this crazy place.
Also, we've looked at 3 game story arcs so far. So, yeah, there's actually like a very set idea of where we want to go and how we want to achieve it, and setting the game up to achieve those goals. So, I mean, that's not to say that you can't go off and do your whole setup thing. Part of the reason that I've almost had a nervous breakdown over it is because I've been writing the character creation to include progression of the different precincts and that sort of stuff down the road. So it's been
A lot of work.
a lot of work.
Nice.
And but I've had some good feedback on it though.
I'm the shittiest non-Swordcraft LARPer out there. And I'm like, I bought a ticket, I'm like, absolutely. Had a brief glaze at like what my style's gonna be, and I'm like, do that later when like more information comes out. But I'm ready to go there and just get blown up by not being
Yeah, I was going to
enough.
say, don't get into your character too much, because
yeah.
he'll be dead by the first
Yeah,
afternoon
that's
if you haven't
what I
played
reckon.
before.
That's what I reckon.
have you got a ticket?
Yeah,
Oh, awesome.
yeah, I'll be there.
And
Yeah.
there are some bugfuck crazy characters that are going to be going around.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the things that people have been coming up with, and it'll disturb people.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's why also one of the reasons that we're looking at really controlling the amount of media being shot and recorded there is because it is an R18+ game, and there are going to be some things that people won't want plastered all over the internet. Yeah,
Yeah, because I did see a ridiculous amount of currency you have to spend to have like an iPhone or something like that.
yeah.
So I imagine that's another way of media being
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Because we don't want, if something cool happens and 10 people pull out their phones to take photos,
That's poo-poo.
Yeah.
that brings you straight out of the game,
Yeah.
and we'll have people there to cover it in character and out of character, so the players can see all their cool stuff after the event, remember it all, but not be dragged out of the game.
Yeah, but also, things like racism is a heavy theme that we'll be looking at, and having 20 years down the track, if someone wants to do something serious with their life, having a picture of them as a young person covered with extreme racist iconography
slurs.
wouldn't be a great thing to have. So,
alright, that's something to think about. That's something
It
to think
is.
about.
It
you
is.
know. That would have never crossed my mind. I would have just
yeah.
so the faction I'm personally in is sports themed. and I'm pretty sure I'm sticking with Mexican wrestling as a sport. So
can't go wrong.
Bits of tight lycra shorts, and I think that'll be about it.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we've covered that enough. We should get back to Swordcraft because
Swordcraft.
Yeah,
Swordcraft. Shit. I don't really have anything to talk about.
You got a whole page of crap there, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
but it's just disclaimers. Disclaimers.
Yeah,
What
I'm a
about some of
total
those
freak.
questions from the community?
I can do that. And our podcast doesn't have to be an hour and a half long. I got told that was too long.
You're right. It was. I listened to the whole thing.
I'm sorry.
I'm a big fan.
I'm sorry. Oh, that makes me uncomfortable.
Can you speak on behalf of the elder? Like, if we were to
I
ask
can,
you,
but
like,
I
how
won't
the
know
elder
most
are
things.
going.
Also, do you want to speak on behalf of the elder?
I don't think they
well,
want
no,
me
I
to.
guess you're speaking for yourself, but like...
Yeah.
Speak for yourself, and you're in the elder.
Yeah.
So the elder are very bro-ish. Why do they have no girls?
No, they're not.
Oh, I
They're
was
super
in there.
bro-ish.
Leah's in there.
Oh,
They're not
yeah,
Aaron's
right.
bro-ish.
in
That's
there.
just what people say.
All
Like,
right.
I was
I'm
turned
people.
off from
I'm
them.
saying it.
Yeah.
Okay. They do have the perception of being
Yeah, it's
bro-ish.
just the perception. And,
Yeah.
for example, when I started Swordcraft, like, I can't remember what the stupid song is. Like, I think it's stupid.
Sex, money, power.
I thought to myself, I'm never joining that warband because that's the wankiest thing ever.
Yeah.
And now here I am, 6 months in. But
Embrace
yeah.
the wank.
But it's not that much like that. It just appears to be.
However, if you don't manage perceptions of how you appear to the rest of the community,
that perception is still there.
Like every warband has that sort of difference between the reality behind the curtains and the perception that they have to the rest of the community, and so many of them just completely fuck up any sort of managing of that, and they just think, oh, it doesn't matter, we don't care about what they think of us, we'll just go on ahead.
I hope everyone just thinks we're fabulous.
You're not that gay. You need more glitter if you're going to be fabulous.
Damn.
I think you're fabulous, and at this point in the game, I don't see you as a threat on Friday night.
No, that's good. That's
I'll tell you how it is.
we're roleplay and costume orientated, not a.
Fuck yeah.
No.
You're a LARP, not a battle game.
Yeah.
Not at this point.
Yeah. Not get in the line and grind.
That's my favourite.
Yeah.
That's my bread and butter.
I actually miss the old days between Frico and Breton when it was
Every week.
Yeah, every week, and like we would train really, really hard just to get a slight edge, and then there'd be like a new type of weapon gets passed.
Yeah.
And it would just be like this arms race, something stupid, just for any slight.
I actively remember that weekly arms race.
Yeah, that was.
Were you joining in when Breton was Frico for a night?
Yes.
Mm.
That was a force.
Yeah.
That was the first time I almost passed out from heat.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. I was like sitting there dry reaching on the side.
Oh.
But not the last time.
No, because
Earth
witnessed
core.
you. No, I've witnessed you on a Friday night actually, and not in that. Yeah.
Okay, probably my.
There's been a couple of times when you're just like sat off on the side of the field going, no. It's
I'm old and fat. Leave me alone. I'm full of chocolate.
That's I'm worried I'm becoming that now. Fucking. No, I just roleplay an old man who can't fight. It's all a dream. Alright, do we want to shoot into some questions? So, we got a fair bit of time, so we can either all answer the questions, or there can be, I'll allocate a question to a person. What's the consensus?
I reckon we should all just talk about it.
All just talk about it? Alright, sick titties.
Otherwise we'll all be kind of holding our
Sick
tongues.
Sick titties. Like, not like shitty, no good titties, like good
Sick
titties.
So like pox-ridden and weeping pus.
Like good titties.
Oh, okay.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
I was like, come on.
Look,
come
you
on, notice
premised
me.
it. You premised it.
For those listening at home, there was a visual cue just before that.
Tits may have been grabbed.
Boom. No!
Sorry, dissenter.
Damn it.
I was waiting for that.
Well, welcome to our last podcast. Alright guys, I've got a nice one from Joseph. We all know Joseph, Archer, North.
Joe Crow.
Crow.
Yeah.
Joker.
Do you think magic could return as a staple form of combat? Who wants to head this one first?
See, we weren't actually at Swordcraft with the crazy magic rules.
Oh,
so we missed
a lot
them.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've heard all about it.
We talked about it. We talked about it a lot last podcast of the rock, paper, scissors, and now we've got rock, scissors. So it kind of fucks up the staple. But I I think I said this last time, and I think that original orientation of when I joined and when the rules were fireballs, chant for 30 seconds, throw it at a shield, doesn't matter if it hits your shield, you're still on fire, you take damage, you have to roleplay that you're on fire. I still think that was the best, and that's just my opinion. I'm not an orc, I can't do anything. What do you guys think? You've been doing Swordcraft since before they had swords, so...
Yeah. There's actually a photo that popped up on Facebook recently of Jeff and Phil training in my backyard.
I did see that. Someone had some sick goggles.
But yeah, I'm actually going to go with, I think it could turn up back again, but I don't think it will. Because of the type of game that's being run and where it fits into the rest of the LARPing community, I think it's pretty much fantasy reenactment. It's you got some elves and dwarves in pretty costume and everything else, but they're looking at pretty much a straight up fight for logistics, administration, ease of entry into the hobby, because it's always been, and this is directly quoted from the orgs, they wanted to have a very low bar of entry to get into this type of medieval-ish fighting.
And it's been part of their success.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that's the main reason why they've got rid of it, and I think that's the reason why it's not going to come back at Swordcraft.
And well, you just got to look at my kit to know that I like them more sort of reenactment sort of stuff. So even in my role playing, I've never been a big fan of high magic sort of games. So stuff like the old Warhammer Fantasy roleplay, I really enjoyed because magic was really relegated. Yeah. So so I don't miss it. I'm not champing at the bit to get it back, and I get really bored by these questions, to be honest.
Snap!
Oh, shit.
Like Jess said, we never saw the more detailed magic, but I would say that at the level they are now in terms of players, logistically I just don't think it would work. Yeah, it would slow the game down so much, and now they've brought in the 3 hit point, the 3 damage rule, which speeds up the game and makes rounds a bit quicker. I think it would just go in the other direction that they want it to.
Well, we play KP, which is Karunas, the LARP run by Liam Crooks, and I'm not even going to go into all the names because there's a heap of them. But that's kind of very magic heavy. But there's a lot less players, so it's a lot easier to manage.
It's better in that setting, I think.
Yeah, but I feel like it wouldn't be as relevant to Swordcraft. Like, there are people that use magic, but, you don't need wizards and mages and stuff that are that powerful. I just don't think it's relevant.
I don't have a problem with them being, like, high-level NPCs or something, but having whole units of high-level wizards is just fucking bullshit! But, that's just my personal
Sucked
opinion.
Sucked into everyone wearing headphones.
Yeah. Eat it, man.
Get fucked.
The other thing is, from a more role-playing perspective, the primary thing is to tell a story, not to see who puts a bit of cloth on a stick in a hole.
Yeah.
So if you're at a smaller event, they're more story-orientated, so you can have sort of magic and gods and all this sort of stuff as part of the world. Whereas for a battle game, if it's not helping your game, it's a drawback.
Yeah.
So,
and it is. Friday night's battle game. You gotta.
I think maybe it could be introduced more at Quest.
Yes,
but Friday night is not as relevant. But I do like what you're saying, Brett, about like casting a fireball and going through the shield, and people have to roleplay that. That's kind of cool. Like, that level of magic is pretty cool.
It also gets rid of the argument of, like, if you have the most money and the most armor, you're gonna live the longest.
Yeah.
Yeah. You say it's rock paper or whatever. I think that the two-handers rule has made it more rock paper scissors myself, because it's more shield, missile, two-hander.
Are we going to go into the
that's probably
that's a legitimate question. Like,
that's what
give me talk amongst stuff.
And segue.
So Al, are you saying that like a combined arms operation is the premier way to go for military theory for the last 2,000 years?
I'd go further than 2,000, Michael.
I thought I was being generous.
Well, fair enough. Probably about as long as we've been able to write it down. Probably longer.
As long as there's been sharp sticks and rocks to throw.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Come on, Brett, pull your finger out. We're
Find the relevant question.
Fuck it. I'll just make it seem like I was smart enough to think of the questions. What do you guys think about the 3 hit point rule? And what do you think about should two-handed weapons do this? Should staves only do 1 because it's just a stick? And how do you feel about your butthole being the 3-point zone? Because that's not your torso.
Yeah, that's
Did you see those pictures?
Yeah.
So, butthole. No, I didn't see it.
It comes down to the bottom of your booty shorts.
Yeah, it's like wearing short shorts and like it comes to the top of your.
I'm one of those guys who hasn't read all 3,000.
Oh, how dare! Get out of my game, honestly. Like, you can't play.
Butthole. Well, if they want to come at my butthole,
you heard it here.
It's I think it's self-defense.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I'm always an avid believer of like if you've got a 2-handed weapon, you should do 2 damage because that's what I think.
You're allowed to be wrong.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, if you use a staff, sucked in, you're an idiot. You do 1 point.
There's a hole in that. Calamaisel sells this stuff that's too short to be a staff as Soulcraft, and it counts as a 2-handed weapon. It's just a stick, and it does 3 damage, and you can thrust with it.
Yeah.
I have used that a lot.
I mean, it's great to fight with, I'm sure. It hurts.
Well, it's also a double weapon too, isn't it? I believe.
Like 5 from both
sides.
Yeah.
I mean, having a double 2-handed weapon is just fucking broken.
Yeah.
Like that. I can see why they've done that nerfing. That's for game balance rather than.
But isn't the Kira double?
Yeah.
Double.
It's a 2-hander.
Yeah.
You just say the word double.
Double.
That's it.
Double.
Just full stop.
Yes, it's a twin blade.
Yeah.
You do lose a little bit of range if you're using it like that, but if you
But I mean, originally
doing
in the
12
last
damage a
rules,
second.
that was just one-sided. You could only use it on one side.
Yeah.
But now you can like paddle it.
some of the arguments I've heard for this sort of stuff comes down to like historically this or realistically that, and I've got a bit more of a rant to say about it, but the basic
that's
version...
a bit of a broken way of looking at things.
The advice that I've given a few times is in any of the discussions which use the word like historically or realistically, because we're in a make-believe game world, replace that with the word believably.
Yeah.
Is it believable to use this weapon in this way for this effect? And so that really changes a lot of the arguments. If you're hit in a limb with a 2-handed weapon, is it believable for it to mess you up? Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that is where it sort of comes in. And
but what do you think of the 3 points of damage? Because personally, I would say 2 points of damage. But like, what do you think on that? Do you think 3 is?
I think for ease of use, having only 2 categories of damage is probably fine.
Yeah.
Because again, we're not looking for realistically. Otherwise, armor would be even more powerful than it is. If you look at anyone who fights in armor, they just don't get hurt by a lot of blows. They can take far more than 15.
Yeah, they usually bleed to death inside their armor
or have massive internal injuries a day later.
That's what I'm about.
Yeah. So you can scrap realism altogether. So in terms of the game balance and ease of use, and that's where Swordcraft is again situating himself in the market as the entry point for people who haven't done this, then you have to keep it a bit simple. It's a compromise for the design of the game. So, and there's always going to be compromises.
Anyone else got anything to add to that?
Naginata's vibrating on your leg, doing 3 damage.
No, you just call them on rock.
That's
drum rolling. They don't get happy when that happens.
The answer to that is
triggered.
Is it believable?
Yeah.
And generally, that's going to be no.
Yeah.
That you take the
so
one hit.
It might be realistic, but is it believable?
Well, it's not really realistic. You kind of pivot those things on your hip so that you can
it would be
cut
heavier.
through a horse.
Yeah, you can also do dragging and pushing cuts in very short motion to get slicing action on the forward and backward action. So yeah, there are ways to realistically use a weapon like that, which are completely bullshit and don't fit onto the battlefield because we're not playing that sort of game.
Yep.
So
because then I feel like hits like if you were to hit an arm and then it hits their chest or something should kind of count if it was realistic.
Yeah,
because realistically you have cut their arm and their chest.
Realistically, you should punch people in the face with your shield.
Yeah.
Well,
some people.
You've got also that thing of the parrying. You know, you
Partial
parries.
parries. Yeah,
So,
that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I just found that question. That question was asked by Josh, who was on the podcast last week. So, thanks, Josh, for your great input. So I've got a good one from Aaron Hass, and it says, "Are the Swordcraft rules really too complex and difficult to remember?" Well, I've read the rules, and I don't think they are. Al?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I got the gist of them. You know.
I feel like this comes back to what Mick has said quite a bit, is that it's appealing to the masses. They are quite oh, you ran away.
They're pretty accessible.
Yeah.
We're on our own! Help!
So a new
They're
question,
pretty
what do you
simple.
think about Brett?
Why is he called Swag Knight?
I've no idea, and I've been around forever.
Because he has swag.
Does he?
Dominant personality trait, perhaps?
Is that what swag is?
I don't know. What was the question again?
Oh,
I was here the whole time.
Are the rules too complex?
Are the rules too complex? No, they're not. They really aren't.
They get a
They
bit
twist
convoluted when it comes to quest stuff and quest-specific rules. Like when they brought in the bleed outs and then weird siege nonsense.
Well, I mean,
that's when it gets odd.
They're trying to basically retrofit LARP rules into a battle game, so it's always going to be
I can't.
a bit ugly.
I can't open
That's
it.
the thing.
Where's my Freako bottle, mate?
It's a twist
It's
top.
a twist. Yeah, I have.
Yeah, but he wants to show off the Freako merch.
My
Yeah.
God.
Also, for anyone listening,
So
the Free Company does have a merch store where you can buy our goods with our logo on there to give us money.
Yeah, you can get a T-shirt of me. Come on, that's
Really?
worth it.
If I had
Yeah,
have legitimately known that, I would have bought things by now.
yeah.
Please
Got
post
one-
that on the Soulcraft page so I can buy shit.
Got one of every single captain, and all
Individ-
captains together.
Does it say anything, or it's just your
The third,
face?
my face with the third because I'm the third captain of Freako.
Gangster.
It's pretty awesome.
Cool. Alright, well, I was trying to subtly get drinks, but you guys all just fucked my mouth so bad.
Yeah. So yeah,
The rules.
the rules.
I think the other aspect is there should be a degree of time for people to actually learn the rules. So if someone, obviously, we have 4 weeks of expected sort of newbie player guidance.
And
where
shout out to Andrew for his work in
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
He
he's
is
pretty
fucking
awesome.
solid when it
Yeah.
comes to that.
And Tony as well has been doing it a bunch.
Yeah, Tony's a hack though.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Not a fan? You don't like him?
I love him.
Cool.
No,
man.
he
I've been
spends,
calling him a hack for about 3 years though.
Nice.
he spends all this time talking about crossbows and you just can't get him to shut up about it.
Nice. Good call out. Good call out.
But yeah, I think that anyone who doesn't have a basic understanding of the rules and has been playing for like 3 months, they really someone should talk to them about it.
Yeah.
Like that should probably be like their warband leader or someone like that, because there's been a bunch of people who just don't seem to care. So
Yep.
give people time, give people an opportunity to actually learn through. People make mistakes, but at some point, if there's
There needs
just
to be an intervention.
Well,
if they're just doing their own thing, then
It's really funny that you mentioned that, because doing the podcast, I can see who has listened to it, and who is commenting, and who likes, and all this sort of stuff. I have all this data, and all of the people that aren't shit listen to the podcast. No, and like, I'm not trying to fucking toot my own horn, but the people that care, they're on the unofficial page. They're on the official page. They post, they like, they comment.
Yeah.
People there are people, and it's not a problem, but people just go for Friday night, and they just do Friday, and they don't give a fuck, and they go back to their
Yeah, it
life.
just hasn't consumed their life.
It hasn't. They're not financially broken, just chronic alcoholic, you know. Like,
They're not hanging around a table talking
Yeah,
about
talking mad
swordcraft
shit about
for a
Naganatas.
while.
Out in fucking Diamond Creek.
yeah. Whoa! You know, the sticks. It's a beautiful place to be. It's not in the city.
I think Coburg is a much better area to host this. Sort
Yeah?
of
Oh,
Okay,
really? Do you have a
alright,
place
well.
in mind?
It's close. It's
Okay,
good.
well,
Does it have a laptop and a mic?
next
Yeah.
time. Oh shit! They know my secret.
The source of all your power.
Yeah, it's legitimately it. Actually, that cord over there is all my power. don't really mind. You know, people do their own thing, and so be it. They start a warband and they're 5 strong, and they're happy to be 5 strong because it hasn't consumed their entire life.
But the other thing with that is, if you're not caring about the rest of the game and the community, the same thing about managing perceptions comes in, and then when you bitch and moan saying, why doesn't anyone take us seriously? Let's face it, if you need to put up with a lot of shit, you need to put in a lot of effort to get recognition within this community.
Yeah, definitely.
You need a PR manager practically
to
be a warband leader.
I've done that. I've advised other people to do it. I've been through all that. You need to roll with a bunch of punches. You need to get your people in order. You need to be able to kick people out of your warband, which is a really hard thing to do if anyone's had to do it.
Yeah.
And these are the sort of things, you can't just go, oh, it looks like it'll be a bit of fun, or I want respect, or I this or I that. You need to be able to do all this sort of stuff. So if someone in your warband is just going, I don't care, I just want to turn up and fight, if they fight safe, if they fight according to the rules, if they do all this, fine. If they're not, deal with it.
Yeah. It's also a reflection of you as a warband leader if your members are that out of line.
Yep.
So
I think it was Mick, you made a comment on something on Facebook somewhere, saying that as a warband leader, you are actually a product that you have to sell.
Yep.
And I thought, that's a pretty sort of mercenary way of looking at things, but you're right, you're bang on right. The perceptions of the warband leader follow onto your warband significantly.
Good and bad.
Yeah.
So it's not just, if you're shit, everyone's going to think your group is shit. But if you are there, committed and working to the betterment of everything, people will recognise that, and that'll be reflected for the rest of the group as well.
That's how it is. Garth.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're pretty quiet over there.
About rules being complicated and people forgetting stuff, I've found that it's not always new players, but it can be veteran players who have been away since before the rules changes, and they forget that things do different damages, and that halberds do more, and arrows don't count for 3 on limbs and weird stuff like that. And I think that is also a big part when people pull you up for not counting hits and crap like that.
No, that's a fair call. It's called like getting old.
Oh yeah.
What's these damage again?
Back in my day.
Fireballs that hit shields and exploded.
Yeah, that's it.
Was it hard for you to change to like decimal money?
Nice. Instead of just blocks of land.
Instead of like shells and stuff.
I'd buy that for 3 sheep.
That's...
I just kind of realised we haven't spoken about it. What weapons do you guys use?
Axe.
Yeah, I
nailed it.
assumed.
You use it. Wagon, you use like rapier a fair bit. How's that go?
I used to use a rapier. I've done that when I've been playing like a musketeer. Or
And man, that footwork. Pretty impressive.
Because at the time when I was doing the Movember thing, I was also studying Italian rapier, so I thought, give that a go. But it's a lot of work.
You also used to use the staff as a longsword. Yeah.
Yup. I remember that.
About the only thing I haven't done is bow, but by far...
Bows for plebs.
Hey, mate, I'll fight you.
Mate.
Yeah, but you won't hit. He's got a shield.
Actually, here's a piece of
I've
trivia.
still hit him before.
Yeah.
I hit you many times
In
last
the
night.
shin.
Yeah, you did.
I actually started off on long spear, and that's actually my specialty.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to see you pick that up again.
Yeah,
I'd
do
like
it
to
again.
see... Next Friday, confirmed!
Yeah, I don't fight in the line enough to warrant using the long
Fair
spear.
enough.
Plus, mine got broken, and I haven't had it fixed yet.
Oh, I saw that break.
Yeah.
That was
Joseph
the safe
Balavant.
break.
Yeah, Joseph Balavant's made that, and
Yep.
I think it's an excellent way to make it, and I think it should be put into how spears should be made. But
Because that had a couple of years of very hard use.
I gave that a caning, man.
So, Garth?
I'm a sword and board kind of person. I try and get the because I'm not good at anything else. But I
Was
just
that
try
you're
to
going to change to buckler?
no, because I'm also too slow.
Yeah.
I just try and get the longest longsword I possibly can within one-handed lengths. I'm currently using a short sword because my Malchus, the longest allowed.
Yeah.
one-hander
Yeah,
sword.
there's 2, I believe.
Yeah, it got busted. Everyone else picked up one of them. There's like 20 of them at
Yeah,
Swordcraft.
I've got one.
Yeah, they're the best
They're
sword going.
Pretty.
But they're fragile.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm using a little 75 centimeter short sword that can't really be thrust with. So it's struggle town for me until I can get my new sword.
Also,
What do you use?
coming back to last week first, you guys were like, shut your
Sorry,
face,
sorry.
mate. What your favourite brands were, and I know this was a last week topic,
Yeah.
but I was screaming at the podcast,
All
being
back.
like, Nemesis.
You're
I
not
tell you,
Nemesis.
Nemesis, we said that.
Did you?
But no, you guys were all like, but Callie,
Oh, yeah,
and you
you-
guys all
Jerking off to count.
at the end were like, yeah,
Jerking
Callie,
off is
Callie.
right.
And I
Garth's
was
right
like,
on it.
come on, like
Circle jerk of
Nemesis,
Callie.
okay, yeah, Callie has the durability,
Mm-hmm.
but Nemesis are fucking gorgeous.
Nemesis are gorgeous and good.
If they were to sell their handles for like a third of the cost of the weapon and
Yeah.
then just put any old blade on it, which is kind of what they do, then yeah, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
at
yeah,
$300 a sword.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, it's pretty dicey.
on that note, I use a Nemesis Naginata, the Elder Naginata, and I use a bow. But my main weapon is a bow. I'm
Okay.
pretty shit with the Naginata. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I got to say the Epic Armory Danax, the way to go, because you
Yeah.
really get some speed on a Danax.
Does that have the crosscall?
No,
No,
not at
it
all. It'd be a
doesn't.
flimsy
Okay,
thing, but
yeah.
it's quite light, I imagine.
Yeah, it's quite light and the foam's quite soft, and
Actually, I
a
think I know
lot of
what you're
people
talking
complain about if you hit them with the Calamace or Danax, and
Yeah.
I can
Oh, yeah.
understand why. It is tough. It is really tough. So I prefer the Epic Armory one. I still get people complaining about how hard I
With
hit
some
anyway,
leather
so.
reinforcement around the axe head too, so it doesn't die in a month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll do that. So yeah.
I primarily sword and board because Brent's a shootable warband, and that's sort of where we're needed.
You were so shootable last night.
I was very
Harry.
shootable. Well,
Were
that's-
you halberd?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was halberding last night, and that's where you are. You're bait for archers.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Gets back to my point about the paper rock scissors,
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. So
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah.
Although
My opinion's right. Don't question
the
me.
archery isn't as strong against two-handers because you have to basically hit them in the chest or you'll be
Yeah.
Yeah, because their
Oh.
arms
Yes.
will be in the way
Oh,
or
Yeah.
something
I'm
like that.
gonna just
When you're as fat as me, that's not a
Also, they go for the legs, so it is still quite easy to hit the chest.
yeah.
When they're in a
yeah.
line, hitting the legs. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
'cause-
shoot over into the chest is quite open.
Depends on where they're situated in the line and
But
how
then
many
you have
shields.
the problem of people ducking quite a lot. I've never hit someone in the face. Touch wood. I actually
I don't believe
haven't.
that.
No, I have never
No.
had.
She
No.
gets like
Nut
5 nut
shots.
shots every night.
Fucking so many of those, mate.
Okay.
So many.
To
And I
compensate.
do apologise to all of the guys that I have nad shotted. There's many of you out there. But yeah, I've never hit anyone in the face. But there is a massive problem with people ducking in lines.
Yep.
You know,
Don't duck in the line. If you're in the line, don't duck. If you duck, you're an idiot.
like
Boom.
a little bit. Of course, that's gonna happen.
No,
but I mean,
yeah.
like a lot.
If you
nah,
break your
nah.
I forgot to speak.
It's also part of getting reach. Like if you got a short little sword like Garth.
No, they say about a man with a little sword.
Yeah, no. If you
It's not
got a
trying to
a
compensate, you know.
lower reach weapon, then you do have to extend yourself if you're fighting against someone with longer reach, and that will sort of make you duck.
People
Okay.
call that you're crouching or something when, because no one fights kind of standing stock straight. You assume a kind of combat stance,
Yeah.
like legs spread and that kind of thing. It just means you're not standing at your full height, and people say that you're crouching.
I don't have that
Some
problem.
people do though.
Yeah.
With
Yeah, or when they go kind of right down like that or
Yeah,
something.
playing too many video games, I think. So,
Yeah.
Lead with the face, always good.
Always. That's how they do it in the animus. Yeah, I'm a short guy, so I don't usually bend too much. Also, very strapped up. It's hard for me to bend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got like gamson, arming belt, jerkin, all that sort of shit.
That made you a lot easier to shoot. Though.
Yeah, so be it. I don't. Yeah.
Questions?
Yep. Oh, shut up. Before we do that question that I have in my mind, I want to give a big shout out to Jeff from the Order last night. I'm not a huge fan of Jeff. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. A lot of, I believe some people from the community agree with me, you know.
The conspiracy.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it's just me. I'm sure there's other people out there that dislike him. Last night, had a really fun time. had my halberd. I was grabbing people's shields and ripping them out of the way like an asshole.
Oh, that is fun.
Like an
That is a
asshole.
lot of fun.
And then he was just in with a two-handed sword going bop, bop, bop. And then we did it to the next guy. And then went bop, bop, bop. Did it to the next guy. Bop, bop, bop.
shit.
Destroy tag team.
And it was, you know, I had a single tear of joy come down. And that was awesome. And that was really great. Yeah, just shout out. You don't suck as much as I thought you did.
Do you feel like you made a connection?
A deep connection.
You gonna be wearing the watercolors next week?
I'd rather melt my eyes out.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so we've got a question from. Okay, we're good for time. We had a question from Nicholas. I'm gonna say your last name is Petro.
Oh yeah, Nick
Yep.
from Freako.
Yep. Pretty sure I know who that is. Yep. Who's your favourite person on the field that you never talk to?
Oh, what? That sounds like a creepy crush.
No, not a creepy crush, but people that you like admire, but you're like, I can't get to you.
You
every
might,
week.
you
Just
might
not
always have good
necessarily
fights with
friends.
them, but never. They're in another warband. You never sort of.
Yeah, you never like.
So-
Mate, I'm an archer. Like,
Yeah, keep it distant.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I've particularly got people that I like. Here goes my rant. There's a few people in the order that I like. Not going to name names, but there's a few people in the order that I like, a few people that I don't, that I never ever get time to talk to because we're often butting heads, and even when we are together, we do our separate sort of things. I never ever get enough time to talk to Avaland. There's no one in the Corsairs I like. Fuck all of them.
Oh, mate.
There's no one in the North I like. Fuck all of them. Oh no, there's people. Okay, well there's exceptions in every warband, but you know, I'm talking generally. What about you guys? Now that
You
I've
haven't
just yelled at everyone.
you haven't picked one person
One
that
person?
you like.
Shit.
Like, isn't that what the question was?
Okay.
Yeah.
One person. Al Taylor.
Just one.
Me?
Yeah, I never get to talk to you.
Mate, he's right there.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go for drinks
Hey,
later?
it's better to be on that list than the other list.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, actually, we'll just skip Mick. But I actually rarely get time to talk to anyone at Swordcraft. I'm pretty bad with names too. Like a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
Just
you
like-
are. Every time I bring anyone up, you're like,
Nah.
What do they wear?
Yeah.
Also, you're a little bit unapproachable.
No,
Oh,
he
no,
isn't.
no, no.
You're a big free company dude.
I've had
Leader.
that all my life. You know that
Yeah.
people think I'm like this bad,
Big scary dude.
foul-tempered, absolute
Nah,
bastard.
what did you say L turns into? Like a really paternal.
Paternal?
Like,
What?
gets-
No.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no,
You're so
No,
seriously.
you said L with you gets kind
Oh,
of paternal.
yes.
Yeah, no, seriously,
yeah.
I'm like that with my whole warband.
Nice.
Like,
Because it's like a grumpy face, and then you get there and you're a fucking teddy bear.
yeah,
Like,
seriously.
You should talk to him about the history of Renaissance art.
No, we shouldn't. But yeah.
I have done that.
But yeah, I actually like take both the on-field stuff and the daily life of my warband people really seriously and that sort of stuff. And I also like I take people's mental health really seriously. If you've ever seen my Facebook feed, it's just jammed full of that. So.
Yeah, you post gay shit all the time.
Yeah. Well, you know, can't all be hard men like you, Brad.
No, I just keep it bottled inside and then I just punch walls.
Yeah, no, that's healthy.
Yeah,
healthy.
very healthy, very healthy.
Yeah. That's also because of that level of involvement. I don't get to get out into the community and meet other people and talk to them. So yeah. So there's
Swag horn?
I hardly get on the field these days.
Yeah.
I've kind of lost a bit of interest of getting out and fighting, so I normally take photos or do other stuff, so I don't really have that on-field sort of...
20 years of it running a bit thin, is it?
No, I worked out, I think it's only about 17 years.
Okay.
Only.
Yeah.
Casual 17 years, whatever.
Some of us
Actually,
are only a few years older
there-
than 17.
There was a new
Oh,
player
yeah.
on the field, not yesterday, the week before, who'd been LARPing since '94.
Whew, nice.
That's a year after
That's
I was
as
born.
old
That's
as
the
I
year
am.
that you were born.
Oh boy.
But
Shit.
the Swordcraft was the first event he'd been to in Australia.
Okay, nice. Jessica?
So,
What was the question?
Oh
Mate.
my
Oh,
god.
okay. Who Okay, can you phrase
Who
it again?
do you respect that you don't get a chance to speak to?
There's quite a few of them, and I don't know why I don't talk to them. Like, okay,
It's a
last
big
night,
community.
Oh, yeah,
last
huge.
night, I don't know how to pronounce her name. I think it's Rian from the Order.
Yes, yep. She's the social media manager. I talk to her all the time.
She's fucking fantastic. Massive
She's
shout out to
the
her.
bee's knees.
Like last night, she copped a pretty hard arrow hit to the face.
Not from you, then.
No. From I'm not gonna say.
You had to call him out.
No, because he's
Write
an
them down. I'll
awesome
call them
guy.
out.
Nah, man.
He's an awesome guy.
He's one of
Confirmed.
yours. He's one of yours. But he's fucking awesome.
It was Kyle.
Nah, man. It wasn't. Alright. So,
Kyle, you're a dangerous archer.
nah,
Get
he's
good.
fantastic. I love Kyle. Stop.
Get good.
So yeah, and she just kind of whipped her head back and then just like smiled and was like, I'm okay, just get straight back into the line. Like, decent cop to the face, it just gets straight back in there. And she's got that real like,
Yeah.
just do it. Like, she's awesome.
She's
That photo that I posted of my favourite from
That's-
last year.
Oh, that's fantastic.
She's just destroying another ornament on the
Yeah,
ground.
yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
She's just like, just get your hands dirty, get in there. Just
Actually,
do
I
it.
remember when she turned up and I was just like, fuck, who's this psycho bitch? She's fucking awesome.
She is fantastic.
wow.
Other than that, actually, I've got another ornament to call out. John, Candy
damn.
Night.
You stole my,
Candy Night.
you stole my pick.
Yeah.
He's just so approachable, so lovely all the time. And I remember he was having a really shit week one time. I was just like, how you going? He looked a bit sad and he's like, yeah, I'm not doing so well. But he was still with a smile on his face, fucking just grins and bears it. He's pretty fucking fantastic and brings candy. Lots of candy.
Where's lollies?
Yeah.
I know
You
you
know
get
who you
any
are.
candy.
There are still plenty of other people
Yeah.
that I could go on about.
Yeah, so hopefully the order disbands lately and we take all their people.
Yeah.
I'm getting that. No, but they were pretty strong last night, so I don't think they're going to disband anytime soon. But when they do, I'm going to come poaching.
You see, the secret for Brett doing all these insults is to get ratings. So you need to listen every week to see who he abuses, okay?
Yeah.
Because your name could be on that
It's
list.
True.
Brett's shit list.
I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to listen to this again and just tag all the people I bad now. Yeah.
So
How about the people
what
you
about
don't badmouth?
You're gonna
That
say
might be a
Candy
show.
Night.
I was going to say John from the Order as well, but
Ooh.
on a different ground.
Pick
Not that he
someone
gives me
better.
candy.
Pick someone else.
John's the best. Like, I respect him because he is someone who is a great LARP fighter. Because LARP, if you're a good LARP fighter, it doesn't make you necessarily a great steel fighter. But he's safe, yeah, and he's really fun to come up against. But I never really get a chance to talk to him.
Alright, well, because we did 2 on John, I'm going to have to reiterate and do a story.
Oh shit.
Story time.
Yeah, story time. So,
Tell us a story, Mr.
yeah. So, at MudQuest, I believe, he ranked up to a knight within the order. And he has to do all these sort of things. I don't know what the order's ranking requirements or whatever are, but he had to like think or like meditate and look into the fire for a certain amount of time or whatever until he deemed he was ready or so on and so forth. Then he had to go do some other stuff. But he was just staring into that fire with just smoke just burling into his face, and he just got tears just running down, staring in the fire like it's nothing. And then later on I talked to him and I'm like, what are you doing, man? Why are you just sitting there in the fire? He's like, I was ranking up. I'm like, why didn't you move? And he's like, well, that's not what it's about, you know? Like, the rank is what you make it. And I was like, alright, let me write down that life advice. And that's sort of what I've, you know, based some of it, the Kingdom of Britain's ranks on, is like, it is what you make it, you know? And the people that you have within your ranks is, you know, your posse, and it's as hard as you make it, and it's as good as you make it.
That was so heartwarming until you said posse.
Yeah.
Your party posse! Sweet.
Would you prefer his squad?
Oh,
Squad's so on
or
point.
crew, like.
Crew? Wow, thanks guys for just shit on. So John, you're right. Yeah. You're not a shit.
You're right.
And that's a high praise.
That's high praise. That's high praise. Have you guys played with the new, with the outposts?
Outposts.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen it from the sidelines.
Alright,
Oh, yeah.
last question.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, that was a disgruntled noise.
So Stuart posts on our extremely official forums.
Stuart is this.
Stuart Him.
Oh yeah.
He's in the Drogans.
Yeah.
She
The
Drogans.
He used to be a Briar.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the outposts as secondary starting locations? Garth?
For people who don't pay attention to who you're with at the start, it's really confusing.
Do you not pay attention?
Well, I have a certain warband leader who doesn't necessarily take the responsibility in paying attention to what the sides are at the start of the game.
Jack Package, you got straight called out.
Yeah.
But that isn't really a thing of the format, because if he's not paying attention, then whatever format, still not paying attention.
Yeah. Because they also brought in Escort at the same time,
they did.
and that was a really, really quick game mode that I think whoever had to escort their VIP won every time, just because the way they laid out the outpost made it very easy.
This in the last podcast. And it was pretty much who could run the fastest, and I agreed with that wholeheartedly.
I think though that's a problem with how they're doing deployment, because that's basically a very old war game format.
Yeah.
That war game format also requires a sort of a horseshoe setup for the attacker. The attackers on the VIP, so that you can attack from the sides as well as directly onto the front, and that stops you getting blocked in and stops you having to run for a point, grind, and that sort of stuff. It's more a broken up, spread out sort of fight. But then you get to Garth's problem of you got to know who's on first and what's on second and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, it's whoever picks your teams, and then you get your teams and you go to your spot. I think it's really hard that first round to assess and see what sort of strength you have, so on and so forth. I feel like you really got to wait until the second battle before you can start doing strategy.
I was about to say that. If you made those...
Even knowing them.
If you made those games the second half so that you're more familiar with the team, it would make it a hell of a lot easier.
Just making like the first half something like really simple. Like total assassination.
Total assassination. I love it. Yeah.
Everyone is a target with 15 hits.
Yes! That's
Shit.
great.
Isn't that the normal game?
Burn!
Mate calls out everyone.
Nice. All that out.
Garth versus the community.
Another quick thing on the point that Al made about, or Al and Brett were talking about with the doing it in the second half. Something that people may not be aware if you haven't led warbands or generaled for a side is warbands change in strength from week to week.
Yeah, they do.
Like massively. If someone has, if one of your warband members has a party on that, you'll lose like a quarter or a third. If someone can't bring the shield,
Well, not even that. Like if it's hot, they're less inclined to wear more armor. You know what I mean?
I learnt that lesson.
Yeah.
But it means that you don't really know the capabilities of your fighting force until they've started fighting. You can predict, Breton are going to be solid in the shield wall, and this is going to be that, and that's going to be that.
Who would predict that?
No one would predict that.
I'm talking about when I was doing this stuff and they were doing it.
Man. That's so bad.
Sick burns.
It's a sick burn.
No, I won't say that one.
No, don't.
No, don't edit yourself on the podcast.
No, seriously, I live with this guy. Trust me, edit is good.
But yeah, so there's always going to be that sort of change, and some of the people who are leading sides seem to think that they have a game plan from the start and just go, this will work, I'll keep doing the same thing over and over again until it works. So especially with new game modes, you have to approach that with a bit of flexibility. So I don't know whether people have been doing that with the outpost change.
No, at the start they kind of just throw people in certain places and they'll find out they've got way too many in
I found that last night with the certain deployment areas that we had. People didn't make use of that because a lot of people didn't realise that it was an entire area.
But in a couple of weeks they might.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's a new thing, People got to get used to it. You can't be expected to be a sick badass day one.
Well,
except me, I'm the sick badass.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at an hour and 3 minutes, so this is going to be our last question, then we'll do a bit of circle jerking at the end. But Lachlan Goodyear, my favourite fucking podcast question asker, why do warbands split up?
Alright.
Boom. Now, we've got a couple of people
we're with some first-hand experience of this.
I feel like also Brendan had a big cull of people, so I feel like I'm sort of we were able to juice it together and stay okay.
Mm-hmm.
But why do warbands split up, Jesykah?
Oh, mate.
Man, I'm starting with you.
All right. So obviously you're asking me because the Briar Wolves split up.
Well, I didn't say that, but
Oh,
yes.
mate, yeah. So
A hypothetical warband.
this warband
The,
may have, yeah, okay.
The
So
Brian Wolves.
The Thorn Dogs.
yeah, all right. So to be honest, I think most of the time it comes down to shit. People just
Toxic people.
Yes, yeah,
Toxic personalities.
yeah, and I think
You could say poisonous personalities.
you could. And I think I'm not going to go too in depth, but at the end of the day, that was a decision that we made as a community because we thought it was for the benefit of the warband. I personally think that the warband was getting too big, like I touched on earlier. I think that it was not controlled enough to get that big. We couldn't really manage the warband very well. And other than that, I don't really know how else to word it without saying anything too...
Dude, say me.
I'm not saying
shitty
things.
leadership, shitty people.
Oh, Chris
Okay.
went over the same stuff last week.
Yeah, yeah, I think
Yeah,
he did touch on that. And yeah, there were some really awesome, solid members in the Briars.
Yep.
And I think what has come out of us splitting is better than what we had. So
Yep.
I think, and we decided that at the time that it was going to be better. There were a few people that said, no, I don't think this is for the benefit of the warband. We should keep it together. But majority rules, we all decided, I was one of the first people that said, yes, the split is for the benefit of the warband. I think the direction that we were going in was not the direction that anyone wanted. And I don't think it was one that could be steered out of the direction in which it was going.
Yeah, it takes a hell of a lot of work to change culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell of a lot.
And yeah, so that's where we've kind of built the foundation of Ayotlan is off the kind of the mistakes of the Briar Wolves. So we've kind of learnt from the previous mistakes and we know what to work on now. So yeah.
You know, go.
Well, I'm the only person
Yeah.
sitting at the table who hasn't led a warband, I think.
Yeah.
I've never let
But-
a woman.
So
yes, I
you
have.
practically
yes, I
did,
have.
haven't you?
Okay.
Well,
Yes, I
Being
have.
my partner who has experienced the breakup of
Oh,
the
yeah.
Briar
Oh
Wolves.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like egos, to be honest.
Yes.
Can be an instigator. Well, it's not the whole thing. If they are, then that's pretty terrible. And also, like you've mentioned, with Breton and the Briar Wolves, yeah, too many people and not being able to manage that explosive growth.
Yeah, explosive growth is a big thing. Too many people in a short amount of time.
See, I think like Freako, let's say, I'm assuming you've grown over time.
Yeah, grown,
But you
contracted.
guys have got, things in place to account for that. You know, like you've got your sergeants, you've got that whole diagram.
command.
Yeah, chain of command.
Yeah, that was Link. He really put that in and really
I think
established
without that, it could have been
We
ended like that.
we have had a discussion of whether we want to continue as a warband, and if it's actually going to be better if we call it while it's still good,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because we're going through a rough patch of membership and attitude and leadership and
Yeah.
everything else.
Right now.
No, this is
No,
why.
that was before I became captain.
And so we looked at it, and a similar thing where the idea was, if we don't have a solid plan going forward, which is significantly better than us disbanding, we should disband.
Yeah,
Because we don't want to struggle and...
Yeah.
That reminds me, there was a point in time where I suggested that we should put things into place, like, I wouldn't say similar to Freako, but, more of more people in the chain of command to make it easier for the command members. But it was kind of, by the time it was considered was too little too late kind of
Yeah.
thing. So in saying that, I feel like the input of senior members should be taken seriously so obviously you guys sat down and took the opinion of the senior members
There's
quite
a lot of
seriously.
discussion.
Well, Link's also got a real wealth of LARPing and club related management and that sort of stuff.
Project management.
Yeah,
work.
I think one of his biggest steps forward in the Freako setup of leadership was that he set up a limited tenure time, at the end of which you actually have to step down and then reapply, which means if you get a toxic person in a position of leadership, then you can go, oh, well, you know.
We won't vote for them this time.
Yeah, next time they're screwed.
Yeah.
You know, so, and you know, they've got like...
I think that's a really good way to do
it.
Yeah. Because if you find
really...
someone who is fantastic, not saying that Mick wasn't, you know, they're going to come back in.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. And even in saying 1 year, how long is it? A year?
For me, it's 2.
That is a long time in Swordcraft.
6 months, 1 year, 2 years for the
different.
Yeah,
so that's in Swordcraft perspective, that's a long time. Like people who've been coming for 2 years, like us, we've been playing for quite a while, considerably. But you know, for 2 years as captain, that's a decent time. Yeah,
it is. My thoughts on what makes warbands break up: sex.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Where people put their genitals matters to a warband, and I don't think they think about it enough. And it can really make some very poisonous social dynamics.
Yeah.
Aside from that, one thing that also makes it difficult for warbands to function properly is any social group is going to get small social cliques. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying they're a bad thing, because they just happen. It's the way people work. But you get problems arising when social cliques stop interacting with cliques outside that. And they become very introverted in the way they look, and they over-reinforce negative aspects of a warband, and that's when it becomes a negative.
I 100% agree with that. I feel like that was also a part of the Brawls.
Yeah, so you've really got to watch those social cliques becoming insular. So
another big thing I've seen in several of the warbands is this sort of cult of personality around a single leader. So one person who might be...
What are you laughing, Gareth?
So someone who's charismatic or dedicated or whatever else will get a group of people around them. They'll forge ahead with this warband idea. As it gets bigger, they still try to run the show by themselves.
Yeah.
And it gets beyond them, and they don't have the ability to manage enough of it, because they're looking at all the top level stuff, and bad people come in and they don't have oversight to kick them out, and it's just this, they burn out, and it's
without them it's nothing.
Yeah, because they haven't built up anything around
no infrastructure.
So it comes into that leadership sort of level. You need to delegate a bit more.
Yeah.
But I think the cause of that is people who build the warband around themselves, not build a warband and are one part of it. So it's that self-consciousness of having the warband being bigger than you and not based on you. So that's an important part.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh, did I answer the question?
No.
You didn't.
What kills warbands?
What kills warbands?
We know what kills warband leaders.
Damn, I can't think of a smart ass remark right now.
Yeah, no, it got all serious,
and
you just ended up shutting up because you're just useless at actual
what
stuff.
Shitty host.
You've been speaking a lot about Britain like exploding, getting big in numbers, and
Jesykah, the host now.
Oh yeah. Oh hey guys, welcome to my house.
Thanks. What I think kills warbands can absolutely be. I've been in Britain. I know how Britain works, so on and so forth. I'll talk about Britain because that's my expertise, my field.
Britain.
Yeah, Britain Tech 101. So people that have a certain rank, not willing to give up their position for blah blah blah, people coming up. Also, things like people that are away for years at a time and then come back and expect to be known in their little posse, in their little community. You know, you're gonna just lose the feel, lose the juice, lose the responsibility, lose the respect if you go away and then you come back on your high horse and be like, yeah. So it can be, warbands can break up for a gajillion reasons, but
There was another thing I noticed about Britain. It seemed that they wanted to go in too many directions.
Yeah, that was an issue.
So it was like they were trying to control 4 or 5 sub-war bands.
Yeah, that can...
Each with a different focus and goal.
Yeah, that was a sort of a way of dealing with the huge influx of people.
Yep.
But it works and it doesn't work. It's all about the motivated people staying motivated and the non-motivated people willing to be not motivated.
Yeah, that's a real hard one to address.
It is hard and it is a sensitive topic, and I sort of out myself by saying what warband I'm in and these are blah 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 our issues, so on and so forth. But every warband has them. We're not special. We're not. Like there's not. Come at me on Friday night if there's a warband that has no political issues internally, it has zero drama in their existence.
Chris's, I mean, it's a one-man show, you know. I don't know, maybe he's got issues with himself, but
Could be. A lot of people have issues with themselves. Especially all the shit war bands, there's a lot of them. And
I think you give him a bad rap. I think one of the problems that you faced in Breton with having a whole heap of people wanting to do a whole heap of thing within one warband has been addressed by having many warbands that people can go off and do that in. Yep.
And I don't think I'm not the perfect person. I'm not the end-all, know-all. I'm absolutely a biased, shitty person. It's my opinion, so deal with it. Yeah. And we're at an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm surprised we made it that long.
Shit.
Guys, you got anything to say? That's some consistent dead silence. Again, if I can be bothered, I'm going to edit in a song at the end, because I think an ending song's pretty nice.
We could do a sing-along.
Yeah, we could do it.
We could
fresh
do it.
routine.
What do we say? Editing podcasts is hard, so I don't know when this is going to come out, so sucked in. Alright, oh shit, I fucking... there we go, got it.
Oh, I forgot to hit record.
Sorry, guys. Alright, so...
Take 2.
I'll chat to you next time I chat to you, alright? Catch you later. Bye.